Hi, my name is Ramir and along with me is Emmy. We are Syracuse University students. We are doing the screencast as a project for IST 648. In this screencast, we will be demonstrating different throughput of AO2.11ac, taking into consideration the channel bandwidth and distance. Three variations of channel width in AO2.11ac, 5 GHz spectrum, which are 20 MHz, 40 MHz, and 80 MHz will be demonstrated. Throughput at distance of 20 feet, 50 feet, and finally 100 feet on each channel bandwidth will be shown. Since we are testing throughput of AO2.11ac ASUS gigabit router, we need a setup that supports up to 1 gigabit per second speed. Therefore, we chose a 13-inch 2013 MacBook Pro that has a wireless card that supports 3x3 AO2.11ac and acts as a client in our setup, and an HP Envy laptop that has a gigabit Ethernet port and acts as a server. The HP laptop is connected to the LAN port of the ASUS router by using a Cat6 cable, and the MacBook laptop is connected to the ASUS router wireless network. As for the use of JPerf, it must be installed on both laptops. It's used to put one laptop into client role while the other one into server role. For configuring JPerf on the server laptop, just click on the server radio button and then choose the port number on which the server listens to incoming traffic. According to your preference, you can customize different parameters such as client limit and output format. For our testing, we chose megabit per second as our output format. Now click on Run iPerf button that's located on top right corner to start the server. As for configuring the client, you go to the other laptop that's used as a client machine and run JPerf, and then click on Client Radio button. Then type the IP address of the server machine and the same port number as it's used on the server machine configuration. Please note that this test is performed in a local network environment. You can also change the output format according to your preference. For this test, we chose megabits per second. When you are done, click on Run iPerf. You should see the results of the test at the bottom right box. For doing the actual testing, we ran JPerf at 3 points of distance from our setup along a hallway, with no obstructions between our client laptop and the setup. At each distance point, the test was repeated for each channel bandwidth, and then the results were recorded. As for the throughput measuring, we took a series of readings for each channel bandwidth at each distance point and then took the average of the readings at megabits per second. For 20 MHz channel, at 20 feet the average reading was 129 megabits per second. At 50 feet it was 108 megabits per second, and finally at 100 feet it was 107 megabits per second. As for 40 MHz channel, at 20 feet the average reading was 240 megabits per second. At 50 feet it was 207 megabits per second, and at 100 feet it was 137 megabits per second. And finally, for 80 MHz channel, at 20 feet the average reading was 464 megabits per second, and at 50 feet it was 391 megabits per second, and at 100 feet it was 315 megabits per second. At the end, we created a line graph to see the relationships between the different readings at different distance points. It's interesting to see that at 20 MHz channel there is not too much variation in throughput when distance is changed. However, at 40 MHz channel and especially at 80 MHz channel, there is a great variation in throughput at different distance points. It seems that the longer the distance, the more difference there is in throughput for 40 MHz channel and 80 MHz channel. That's it for the screencast. We hope you found it useful and thank you for watching.